Good afternoon, everybody. This is Brenda with My Mic, Your Voice podcast. And today's guest I have with me today is the lovely Suzanne Popieski. All right. And we're going to talk with her a little bit today about her career in art. And give me one second here. All right, Suzanne, she's a well accomplished woman who left home at the age of 18, put herself through college, and earned 2 degrees, one in law and a BA. All right, so Suzanne, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and welcome once again to the podcast.
Hi, Brenda. It's so fun to talk to you in person, face to face. Thank you for inviting me. And thank you for supporting me and all of the other artists that have been on your podcast. It's so important to support the arts. It's really all about the human condition ultimately. And it's such a beautiful way of connecting with each other. My story is probably unusual because I'm a self-taught artist. I only started making art about 2.5 years ago, and it was literally by accident. So before that, I'm a lawyer, and I've been practicing law for a long time. And my sort of stumbling into art is a probably different story. I have absolutely no training as an artist, never taken any art classes, but I've always loved art and I've always been inspired by art as a way of communicating without words.
Oh, nice. And I also know too that you have a very extensive background. Yes. And like you said, I follow your work. So I love what you do. And, the things that you're painting is just, it's inspiration. So that's what I think drew me to your paintings. Also, you told me your art is a reflection of your life trajectory. How is that?
So my art is very intuitive. I almost don't have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been just an expression of, it seems like kind of a lifetime of feelings that I wanted to just put out
Mm-hmm.
there. And so in terms of my trajectory, I think it was really during the COVID lockdown that I think all of us had a lot of time to just reflect about our lives, really, and take sort of stock of what's important in our lives, like the people that are important in our lives and what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Everything sort of, just looking back at my life, I see how much I've accomplished and how, as a woman, I have had an amazing career in a male dominated field where I have been treated with respect because of my education and my expertise, and what just a kind of wonderful feeling that is.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are sort of the feelings that I wanted to kind of put out there. So my feeling of sort of looking back on my career and the success I've achieved by, you know, putting myself through college and law school, and looking back and seeing, I really have achieved a lot, and also just kind of represent different aspects of my personality.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you can see that in your artwork. Yes. And then, two, um, tell us, being a self taught artist, what fuels your passion?
What fuels my passion is honestly whatever is on my mind at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be anything. The, for example, lately, with the change in our government, it's had a big impact on my life. And I made a piece, it's called This Is What Happens. And it's basically, I had no plan when I made this piece. I had a huge canvas, 36 inches square. And so for me, that's a fairly large canvas and it's kind of a lot to fill and a challenge. And so I just started kind of throwing stuff out there. And the end result is it kind of shows how the sort of chaos of what's going
Mm-hmm.
on has affected me, and also the hope for the future,
Mm-hmm.
and just both of those aspects in one canvas.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So, what point of your life you knew that art was more than just a hobby?
That's such a great question. Um, so, so as a self-taught artist, and also I literally started becoming an artist by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So how it happened is that I had a friend with a daughter, and she was in college, and so the daughter was really into art, and we did some art activities together, sort of as a bonding activity. And then I got us both gingerbread house kits, right? So that you get a blank house. And then I bought her like all kinds of candy and frosting and just extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat over the holidays and we made our houses together. So I made mine and she made hers, and they were just completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Hers is this sort of like maximalist gingerbread house with all kinds of stuff thrown on it. And mine is sort of like a fairy house with little bunny and trees that I made out of meringue, and it's like full of pink and white and green stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were completely opposite. But we had so much fun that I thought we need to continue this when she went back to college. And so I got both of us collage making materials.
Oh, nice.
And so we could sort of FaceTime about it.
Mm-hmm.
I got us a big canvas. So we filled the big canvas. And then we started making greeting cards. They're like, make a little 5x7 greeting card. It's like instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of the lockdown, you know, I work from home and I live alone. So I like a lot of time at night to make greeting cards. Like I literally made over 100 greeting cards.
Oh, wow.
And I was showing, right. And I was showing them to my friends, and my friends really liked them, and they encouraged me to make more, make them bigger. You know, you've got to sell these and all this. And I'm like, okay. So one day I went into an art gallery in Bethesda, Maryland, where I live, the Waverly Street Gallery. And there were two artists in there and no customers. It was just me and these two artists. So I started showing them eventually pictures of my stuff, my collages on my phone. And they liked them so much that they invited me to their group invitational show in February of 2023. So this happened in the fall of 22, where I showed them my stuff on my phone. So one day, so they said, yes, right, we want you, and bring us your stuff. Like they wanted me to bring my stuff into the gallery so they could sort of pick which pieces to put in the show. So I brought all my stuff and we laid it all out, and Jeff DeSobri, who was the curator, chose 4 of my works for me to have in that show. So that was the first time that I got, you know, invited into a real art gallery showing my art, and it totally blew my mind. Also, there was a piece that I made that Jeff selected for that show that, you know, when you ask, when did I know that art was more than a hobby? So I made a lot of stuff. And, you know, whenever you start any activity, you're not as good in the beginning as you get, you know, when you practice a lot. Yeah. So I made a lot of stuff, but I did start making my collages a little bigger. And then there was one piece that I made that really convinced me that I had something to say, talent. You know, I really did have talent at this. So the piece is called Eve Was First. So we all are familiar with that Michelangelo painting on the Sistine Chapel of Adam and God, where, you know, their fingers are connecting, right? So I found that image of God's finger, and then I found a female hand doing a similar gesture. And so I composed a piece where it was the hand of God and the hand of the woman, and then the woman is sort of jumping over a shrub, and she's a really cool woman. She's got this cool dress on, and she's got her hair blowing in the wind, and she's, you know, really on the move. And my point of making that piece was to essentially reverse the mythology of creation, where, you know, God created Adam first, and that makes no sense because Adam doesn't have a uterus, right? He can't give birth to Eve, and God doesn't have a uterus. We know if there's a male God, he does not have a uterus. So it just makes no sense to me that there should be this mythology about a male creator versus a woman creator. So in my piece, Eve was first, not Adam. And so that's sort of the tone of a lot of my art, just really celebrating women and sort of turning some ideas on their head.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. All right. So that's your start. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then I remember you telling me that you did like 30 shows, you like juried shows and 2 solo shows. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. So after getting accepted to the Waverly Street show,
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot more sort of bold, thinking, hey, if I can get accepted to one, why not, try to apply to more? And so that's basically what I did. I just started applying to a lot of art shows,
Mm-hmm.
open calls. And I ended up getting accepted into, by now over 30 juried shows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been an amazing experience for me having, no training as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one of the shows I was accepted into in Frederick, Maryland was very competitive. They had 458 applicants
Okay.
and they only chose 47 artists. And so, I was one of the 47. And
Okay.
yes, I've actually also had 2 solo shows.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what that tells me is that I have a lot of drive and a lot of energy to
Yes.
create art.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun talking to people about art and hearing
Mm-hmm.
their interpretations, and just also hoping to inspire women
Mm-hmm.
to, if they see my art, that they will
Yeah.
sort of identify with the subject, which in my art, the woman is really the star.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that women will see that and identify with the subject and feel empowered.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Well, that sounds empowering. Absolutely. Now, this is like a fun question for you to throw you. If you could choose one person or persons to paint side by side you, who would it be, dead or alive?
Oh man. Um, yeah, I can't just have one. I need more. Um,
You can have
that's a
more.
great question. I need more than one for
Hmm.
sure. Um, that's such a great question. I would say sort of first and foremost, it would be Salvador Dali because his style was so unique. He was such a
Hmm.
groundbreaker. I love his style so much. And he was a very, eccentric and just unapologetically himself. So he would be one. I would also say probably Keith Haring,
Okay.
just such a prolific artist. He painted in subways. I mean, I just love how he brought his art to the
Hmm.
people, and his style is so identifiable. Um, Andy Warhol for again just being such a groundbreaker
Hmm.
in art, and that idea of breaking the rules. I just love that.
Okay.
I think that's partly why I've had a lot of success as an artist because I didn't go to art school.
Hmm.
I don't really know the sort of standards, the rules of composition and so forth. I'm just really putting my soul on a canvas.
Okay.
I'm not really following any rules. And I think that's a lot of artists who we now look back on as
Hmm.
hugely successful. I mean, think of Van Gogh, like
Yeah.
he was told his art was so ugly it would never sell. And yet now he is seen as a, monumentally important artist.
Hmm.
So I think that's what really is interesting about art is that there really are no rules, and getting to see individual artist perspectives and,
Yeah.
their humanity. So beautiful.
Yeah. Now, picture yourself being the subject. Who would you want to paint you?
Oh, wow. Another great question. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. That is a great question. Um, I think it would maybe be Frida Kahlo.
Okay.
Um, her style is so, it's like, she just had a way of just merging surrealism and realism and sort of showing really her soul on a canvas.
Mm-hmm.
I really admire her style. So I think it'd be her. Yeah. Plus I would like to pick a female.
Okay. Okay. Girl power, of course, empowerment.
Totally.
So, being an artist, do you think the women they get and understand what you do?
Do I think that women get what I
Yeah.
do?
Do you think they understand what you do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And
Okay.
when I am in a show, it is so delightful
Mm-hmm.
to talk to the, art lovers about art. And since my art is very bold,
Mm-hmm.
I have found that it really does resonate with women,
Okay.
that women love to see images of powerful women
Mm-hmm.
and, um, bold images of women as opposed to just sort of, putting a woman in a traditional role,
Okay.
sort of art. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Mm-hmm.
but I have found that, sort of the bolder my art is, the more women really like it. When I've had group shows, I've got a piece called Bad Bitch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, it's sort of like, it's kind of got a graffiti style,
Okay.
and it's, I wrote the letters out in spray paint,
Okay.
"Bad Bitch" on it, and there's an image of a woman in it, as along with a crushed Coke can and a fly flying around. Um, it, she is just out there being herself
Mm-hmm.
and just, again, unapologetically herself. And every single woman that came into my solo show that was in Washington, D.C. with Artomatic gravitated toward that piece. They really love to see that, yeah, I may look like a librarian, but I'm really a bad bitch, right? I mean, I think all of us have that inside of us,
Mm-hmm.
that part of us that really is confident and bold.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, your work is empowering and it's powerful. Absolutely. Colorful, yes, and powerful, yes. The statements are being made, yes. And it's like
Hope
emboldened and
so.
encouraging too. So yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you could going back to your younger self, if you could write yourself a note, what would your younger self tell yourself?
Wow, that is a really cool question. So, what would my younger self tell myself? Wow, I don't know. I think,
Mhm.
um, honestly, thank you. Like, I have struggled to get where I am in
Mhm.
life. I busted my butt in college and law school to get really good grades
Mhm.
because I had loans to pay back. So I needed a really good job to do that.
Right.
um, and, since then, working very hard at my profession so I can become an expert and
Mhm.
achieve, becoming the top in my field. And I have done that. And I think my younger self would say, thank you for that. Really. Yeah.
That's awesome. I always tell people I would tell my younger self, don't let no one put you in a box. Don't let anyone silence you. Don't let anyone stop your process because I did that growing up, and so I missed a lot of opportunities. But now I got a podcast, my mic, your voice, so it's going to be heard. There's no more being silent. So the silence is over.
Yes. I
So,
love that, Brenda.
yes, absolutely. So I would empower women or anyone to don't let anyone stop your process. Don't allow it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, your positivity has, given birth to this podcast and all
Thank
your
you.
success.
Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate all the support from you guys too. I really do. It's it can seem overwhelming at times, but then again, I'm like, I feel like this is my purpose because I love talking with people. I love asking questions, and I love giving positive feedback. Um, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be silent anymore. So, just go out and take a chance. Yeah. So here I am.
Your voice is your power.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Your voice is your power. And that's, the same thing with art. Basically, art tells a story,
Yes.
and it is a way of communicating without words that
Hmm.
doesn't need any explanation.
Right.
It's a very powerful form of communication, a
Hmm.
way of connecting. I think it's very, very important.
Yes. Yes. And as far as your painting goes, what's one topic you're itching to paint but haven't yet? Maybe it's something a little bold or unexpected. Maybe it's going to pop out at us one day on Instagram.
Yeah, baby. I've always got something cooking. I've always got something in the pipeline.
Hmm.
And I'm so inspired. I have to say that Instagram has been such a positive experience for
Hmm.
me. And I am inspired every day by what other artists post.
Hmm.
It's just incredible. It literally has influenced my art.
Hmm.
And I think I'm going to continue to explore abstract art and also merging collage and abstract art. So that's where I want to go.
Hmm.
And I, my followers have seen me post more
Hmm.
abstract art. I'm going to keep that trend going for sure. And also probably bigger canvases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I'm always rooting for you. I'm like, hey, go put this in a library or something. This will go good here and there.
Oh, I love that. So I actually do have a new solo show opportunity coming up
Okay.
where I'm going to be putting 23 pieces in a doctor's office, actually. So
Okay.
when you say put it in the library, I think maybe there are some off the beaten path opportunities for me that I'm going to continue to explore and
Hmm.
not just showing in art galleries.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Yes. I'm telling you,
It's cool.
I'm telling you guys, you got to go to her website because her art is beautiful. You got to go check it out. Yes. And it has such passion. Yes. You can tell.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Brenda.
absolutely. And if your art could give women one message or change their mood, what would it be? Would it be something of confidence, joy, rebellion, or peace?
Oh man, that's a great question. Uh, yeah, confidence, rebellion, joy, peace. Okay, peace is okay, but really, I want women to be loud.
Hmm.
I want women to be very confident. Heck
Hmm.
yeah, rebellious. Especially now, we cannot be subjugated by a patriarchal society. We cannot accept that as our reality. We have to speak out. We have to support each other. It's so important to do that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I say, your art it's a statement piece. Statement pieces, rather, I should say. I really love that
Yes.
one.
Thank
I
you.
really love that one you did with the lips. I forgot what it's called. You did one with
Oh,
the lips.
kiss and tell.
Yeah, that I like that one. Yes. Mm-hmm. That was
Thank
pretty
you.
cool.
Yeah, I've
Mm-hmm.
got I've got a romantic theme in some of my art. And again, that's just
Mm-hmm.
related to my own life, and I can get inspired, and it just pours right into my art.
Yes.
And so I actually, as a collage artist,
Mm-hmm.
I collect images, and I have files with different kinds of images in
Okay.
them. I have
Okay.
lips, I have eyes, I have heads, I have, legs,
Mm-hmm.
hands, and all kinds of things, background things, black and white things. So I just got inspired to make that piece because I had this huge collection of lip images.
Okay.
And I just thought, wow, this would be so cool as just the focus of one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love the way it turned out. It's at the framer right now, and I'm going to put it in that solo show at the doctor's
Oh,
office. So
nice.
I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
And I get so excited when you post that a piece has been sold. I'd be like, yes, like, yeah.
It's a great feeling. I mean, sometimes I sell things and I'm sad because I kind of want it in my own house,
Yes.
but um, it's a great feeling. It's just, it's a feeling that your art really inspired someone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, art is a luxury purchase.
Yeah.
It's not like going for groceries, right? It
Mm-hmm.
has to be something that really resonates with you. And then you have wall space, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we all have limited wall space. You're going to say, I like this so much. I'm going to buy it and put it on my limited wall space.
Yes.
So it is really an amazing feeling
Yes.
to feel like someone got that much happiness out of something that I made. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Have you ever, painted a piece that you just did not want to let go of?
Oh, Brenda, you read my mind. Um, yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. I've done that a couple times. And, each piece is unique.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to make it again.
Yeah.
And so I do have a professional photographer.
Okay.
So he takes pictures of all of my pieces.
Okay.
So I haven't ever sold a piece that I don't have a professional,
Mm-hmm.
high quality digital image that I can make prints later.
Oh, okay.
So I can make prints of things that I've sold, but, there's really no comparison to the original piece, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now let me ask you this. What do you do downtime? What do Suzanne do to relax her, to get away from the art, let her go put a thinking cap on, let her refocus and get some great ideas? So what's downtime?
Yeah. So I like to go to the gym. So I spend a lot of time there.
Okay.
And, I just really like hanging with my friends. I love to have deep conversations with people. I can frankly get inspired by so many different things.
Okay.
For example, was watching a Valentino runway show, a couture Valentino runway show on YouTube, and I saw an outfit with this particular color combination, and I wanted to run to a canvas and replicate it. It was just so cool to me. So I get inspiration from so many different places. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. For myself, I love to be by the water. I'm a writer. I love to write. I have like 4 notebooks full of writing, so I'm trying to do something with it, and it's just so serene to be by the water. That's when I can like get some great ideas, and even if I'm at a store or something, I can think of something. I'm writing on a piece of paper, or give me a napkin, or something. I could be sleeping at
Right.
night, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta jump up and write this down before I forget it.
Right.
Mhm.
What are you writing?
I do poetry, and I'm writing a book.
Oh my goodness. What's your book about?
Mm, I'm gonna tell you later.
Okay. Well, secrets are good.
Yeah.
It's like I really
Mhm.
am dying to know.
Because
So,
I love the title and everything, so I don't want to give that away yet because I haven't
yeah.
did things I want to do yet. I've written my introduction dedicated to my mom, my son and my daughter, and my grandkids, um and I got some things down. I was talking with a publishing company, so I'm gonna see if I want to go with them or not. So
Wow.
mhm.
That's so exciting, Brenda.
Yeah, it's based off
Can't wait to see
it's
more.
based off of my youth and my experiences in life and family, and some very emotional, and just all kind of things in there. Yeah, because
And you're,
my mom is my biggest inspiration. The things that woman went through.
wow.
Yes, she's my biggest inspiration. So it's going to be listed
Right.
in the book. Hmm.
So it's about your own trajectory.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
You have pictures in there,
Um,
like family photos and stuff.
I'll probably add some pictures. Yes. Hmm. But you know, of course, when you're
Hmm.
writing a book and you're adding your family, you got to get everybody okay. So some people might be okay
Oh,
with it,
for sure.
and some people may not. So I might have to change some things
Right.
around. But you know, so I cross that bridge when it
Right.
happens.
Well, that's a very exciting project. So,
Yeah.
what is it about the title that is special to you? Don't tell me the title. Just tell me like why you don't want to reveal it.
Because I don't want somebody to steal it.
Mm, yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. But I said,
So titling,
I'll tell you next time we talk on the phone.
okay. So titling things for me
Hmm.
is so much fun.
Yeah.
I really love that process. I typically don't title something until it's made.
Hmm.
And so, I feel like it's you can title it anything you want. There are no rules. So pick something good and pick something that is going to give the viewer a feeling.
Hmm.
Um, and of course, I want positive feelings.
Yes,
So try
absolutely.
to go for something uplifting.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, we all have that little rebel in us growing up, rather, you know, when you're younger, um, and especially, you know, with siblings and different things like that. So yeah, like the
Mm-hmm.
kids in the neighborhood, they weren't too acceptive. Um, like I say, and so that kind of like threw me back a little bit because I've been had this idea to write the book, to do the podcast, do everything, and just that I just didn't feel like, you know, nobody would accept me or accept it, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not going through that no more. That I put that mindset behind me. Your voice is your power. Get out there and just do you.
Absolutely. Right. And just look at the success you've had because of your positivity and not giving up. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm thankful, like I say,
Yeah.
for you guys, and it was a real joy to have you on today, Suzanne. I thank you for taking time out your day to come on and talk with me on my Mike Your Voice podcast. I know we've been wanting to do this for a minute, but hey, you finally had the moment where we could get it done. So I'm excited and thankful, very grateful. Yes.
Me too. Thank you so much, Brenda. I was so honored that you wanted to include me. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. And let's go sell some art.
Sell it, make it right. Just
Absolutely,
bring some
absolutely,
joy.
absolutely.
Bring some joy.
Absolutely. Well, thank you once again, everybody. We had the pleasure of having Suzanne on with us today. Once again, we're very thankful and grateful. I look forward to seeing what you post next, and I'll be right there to give you my opinion on it and share it with everybody as well.
Thank you so much, Brenda.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
Love you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay.